advice on having for any agreement the highest, best possible standards of safeguards and verification. And there are many ways to do that, as you know. Argentina and Brazil had its own way to do it. Other countries do it in different ways. So we will, and of course, when they come to that agreement, which is not the case so far, so there is a little bit of speculation as to what are the exact contents of that agreement. When that happens, what we expect, and we are sure that this will happen. I have been discussing with Secretary Wright, for example, in Washington and in other parts. They are going to be requesting the agency to verify that agreement. So I would say, from the perspective of the IAEA, we are in a listening mode. We advise, of course, because this process has been ongoing, and if you remember, it goes back to the Biden administration as well. It's been a process that has taken a long time, with different emphasis as time passes and the priorities of each government changes. So we will be ready to apply the verification measures that they request.
Just a quick follow-up.
Yes.
But just broadly, what does it say about safeguards that there's a force concentrated in the Middle East to wage war on one country over its nuclear fuel cycle program? At the same time, letters are being transmitted that would open up the fuel cycle to a neighboring country.
Well, a nuclear fuel cycle is a very legitimate thing to begin with. And for this agency, a good thing, because we promote the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. Your comparison in that sense, though tempting, I don't think respectfully applies, because we are talking about something that may happen, an agreement, and when that agreement happens, what we hope is that the parties to the agreement, and in this case Saudi Arabia, if you wanted to extend that comparison, will be in compliance, in full compliance with what they agreed to do. In the case of Iran, well, we've had the problems that we have been talking about for so many years, Jonathan.
Question over there.
Hi, Nilufar Ibrahim from Iran International.
Hello.
Hello. Today you said that you were not able to connect the channels to the Iranians to see what is happening to the facilities which Iran is saying has been hit. I was wondering, have you been talked to the Iranian representative today, this morning, during that meeting that you had? And then after that, do you think the military action which is going on would make your work more difficult now? Because even before that, you were asking for inspections in Iran for the sites. And how do you think it will be proceeded after that?
Yeah, let me maybe give an element of precision there on this issue of the communication or not communication. The communication I am referring to is the communication that our Incident and Emergencies Center normally has with a point of contact that is determined or defined by every state on issues that have to do with radiological situations, levels in the atmosphere, etc. So it's a pretty technical thing. It's not that we have lost communication with Iran. No, that doesn't happen, and I have a very cordial contact with the ambassador and with authorities in Tehran as well, as you know very well. So that has not been interrupted. As to how this process will continue or not, like your Chinese colleague was referring just a minute ago, I think it may have an impact. For me, what is important is that we continue the work in spite of the difficulties that we may have. It is not because it may be more difficult or deemed more difficult that we will say, no, now it's more complicated. So for us, as I said, independently of any judgment that we may have on the influence of the military actions now on a future process, I think it is indispensable, and we'll have to do it.
Sorry, yes.
With today, Duygu Özkan, Austrian Daily Die Presse.
Hello.
With today's meeting and also with you being in contact with many parties involved, have you sensed that there is still willingness in resuming the diplomatic talks?
Well, I think so. I think so. I think there is a recognition, and if you listen to statements made by President Trump or Foreign Minister Arakci, I think there is a recognition that there will have to be a dialogue at some point. Of course, we are in the midst of a military campaign, so we cannot expect at this point to have a date, a place, a moment. This is premature, but I think there is a recognition that there has to be a conversation, that there has to be a dialogue, and we will be ready to assist, if so requested.
Question over there.
Mohammed from Al Jazeera Arabic. Can you please tell us more about your concerns regarding the Isfahan facilities? What was reported on Friday, I think, or on Thursday regarding the Isfahan facilities, the uranium-rich uranium stored there?
Well, Isfahan, there is nothing new about Isfahan, as you know. Isfahan is one of the main facilities which contains a number of very important installations that are essential in the nuclear fuel cycle, as we call it. You know, treatment, conversion of uranium, enrichment as well, and in this case, also the storage. It is widely assumed that most of the stockpile, if not all, a large part of the stockpile is there. So it is very important in this regard.
Any other questions?
Can I ask a follow-up on Isfahan facility? You said on the report that we have seen, which was published in the news agencies, there was said that there are some activities around the site, and you think the uranium, high enriched uranium, is still there. So can you give more information about that?
Well, unfortunately, and in spite of our repeated requests, not from now, but as of last, let's say, fall or late summer last year, we have been repeatedly requesting Iran for access to go and check whether the material is there. You remember that we were able to agree in Cairo on a number of verification steps that could facilitate that, but given the political processes and other things, Iran decided not to continue applying the Cairo agreement. So we haven't been able to return there. That is the general situation. As per the possibility of the material being removed, we hope it has not been removed. We hope we will be able to check it, because we should not forget that the agency, and as Iran continues to be a party to the non-proliferation treaty, they are under an obligation to show the agency where this material is. We understand the difficulties at the moment, but we hope to be able to regain this access as soon as possible.
Francois, you had one more?
Hi again, DG. Could you just give us a clearer picture of the sources of information that you have at your disposal in terms of determining whether any facilities have been targeted? Have you had any input, for example, from the Iranian side on whether that's the case? And what else are you relying on? Is it satellite imagery?
Yes.
You don't seem to have anyone in Iran at the moment.
No, we don't
right,
have anybody at the moment, because the last inspection had been completed. And as you know, ever since last summer, we are going there when we have a concrete inspection to perform, and then we return. But yes, we have access to multiple images from us, from others. We analyze them very, very carefully, so we can have a pretty good idea about it. Just like last summer. I mean, we were not there checking whether facility A, B, or C had been attacked or not. And I think this is the case. We are, of course, in conversation with Iran, but at the moment is very limited. Until last Thursday, it was very intense.
If there are no further questions, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.